Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. This is Love After Lockup, y'all. This is Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup. Okay, Bond Girl, Season 4, Episode 12. Now, how last week was Season 3, Episode 1? Only God knows, honey, but I'm going by what they put, okay? We know that in the last time they had these seasons continuously going the episodes continuously going where we was up to like 60 the last time, right? So we go on with the flow. But nonetheless, y'all, I don't think this going to be too long because it wasn't too much going on in here, okay? Some of these people really don't need to be here, to be quite honest. And this episode did not give that much, but we going to talk about it. So we start out with Miss Tiffany, right? We have Tiffany and Kevin. Now, Tiffany is here at the house and she don't went checking through the drawers, snooping around, okay? Called up her girlfriend and said, I was snooping around and I found somebody's underwear. Now, it made me laugh because the synopsis said, she finds a shocking discovery. This ain't shocking. It's not shocking by far, honey. You should already know what Kevin is about. You should know what you're going to be getting when you're dealing with Kevin. So I don't know how shocked you could be. She even talks about the fact that she found something previous to this. And they have a discussion where he's like, yeah, when you was locked up, I was seeing other people. I was doing other things. I wasn't just sitting around waiting on you, and she essentially says that she basically gave him an opportunity to redeem himself. Girl, bye, okay? And she pretty much feels that, if they do something together with a woman, that's fine, right? But if he's doing it on his own, then that's not okay. So, of course, that's why she had the whole idea of them setting up the website and them finding, somebody they could be with together. And the fact that these people keep thinking that bringing in an outsider into their relationship is the answer that's going to, be the whole, the end all to the be all or the be all to the end all and make everything all right. It's hilarious within itself because one, you have to work on yourself. Make sure you are in order. Two, you have to make sure that you guys are together as a unit and you both actually want the same things or at least want to be inside the relationship together before you can even consider bringing anybody else in. That definitely is not going to be the fix for it, right? So pretty much she ends up telling her girlfriend she have to go ahead and get ready for work. She going to talk to her later. The girlfriend, gives her this idea or advice to leave a note on the bed. I don't know what the hell the point of this was, but leave a note on the bed, basically on top of the panties. And she does that before she is leaving to go to work. The next thing we see in Kev, he driving this big ass truck. Okay, I ain't even think he could whip that thing like that. But he was handling it. Okay, somebody put up a meme on Twitter where it's like a little kid playing with the steering wheel, and that is exactly what he was reminding me of. And as he's driving, his phone is going crazy, and so he's just like, damn, are you kidding me? Oh my God, I never seen somebody text so much. I never seen somebody, that won't stop calling. And of course it is Miss Kayla still calling. You have his friend laughing when he pulls up and he's telling him like, my gosh, she won't leave me alone. This is crazy. She just calls over and over and over, damn. And then, he asking him like, you all right? He like, yeah, I'm all right. I'm chilling. But this is madness right now. I got this crazy one that keeps calling me. And he's like, Kayla, of course, everybody already knows who he talking about. Of course, previous to this, he's trying to have a guy's night out. And she showed up there. And so everybody knows Crazy Kayla, right? And he even talks about maybe changing his phone number. But we know he likes this. And we know that he is the one that set all of this in motion, right? He basically says to his friend that he set up that website and Kayla already found it. And now she keeps, blowing up the phone. He's talking about blocking her or either changing his number. So his friend is telling him he got to be careful and that he should know what he's getting into. And again, this is what he asked for. This is what he set up for himself for. So how much can you possibly, want to sit around and complain? And he's saying how this situation could turn, bad real quick. And he got to deal with it, right? So that was pretty much Kevin and Tiffany. Wasn't really too much more to it than that, okay, if we are really being honest. And so, she over here talking about she don't want to bring the old her out. So then we get Taylor and Chance, child. Chance is in here fixing this room, okay, claiming that he has been working on it for weeks. He's saying that he don't got that much more to do. In the meantime, the girls is getting ready for this daughter dance, daddy dance, and he's saying how they're gonna go to the dance late because he want to try to get as much work in as he can before they leave to go to the dance. Now, I was scared they wasn't going to make it to the dance at all, because I'm looking at this room and I'm saying, that look a hot damn mess. That don't look nowhere near done. It looks like it's dangerous. He got stuff falling all out the ceiling on him, okay? And it don't look done, and it don't look like it was going to be done anytime soon. And so, in the meantime, Taylor's getting the girls ready, and she's asking them things like, do you think it's important that Chance is taking you to this dance? Are you happy that he's taking you to this dance? To me, I'm tired of her forcing this damn man on her daughters. That's starting to be annoying to me. Like, I get it that your fiance passed away and they don't have their dad. I think the baby daughter was going with her dad to the dance. But it's creeping me out, and it has been creeping me out since the beginning, that she's just like really forcing these girls to be around him. But nonetheless, she's telling them that she hopes they have fun. They saying they looking forward to it. One of the daughters even thought that they was already married, and she started laughing at that and was like, no, we're just engaged. Bobby is pretty much even trying to be a little bit positive. At one point, she says she hopes they have a good time. And she's asking what's going on with the room and, or the apartment, whatever. And, basically, Chance is saying, well, Taylor is saying, it's almost ready. He's still working on it. His last little touches that he want to do. So he's going to do a little bit more of that. And they're going to go to the dance about an hour late, And so then finally Chance comes walking in the room saying that it's ready and that he wants her to be blindfolded in order to take her out here and show her the room. Now, again, I'm shocked, actually, that Bobby's attitude seemed to be a little bit more positive. Seemed like she was breaking a little bit, okay, because the last time we saw, she was saying, she would see how it goes and he have to prove it to her. And that if it didn't look right, she was not trying to be up in there. But all of a sudden, they take her out there. The room is trash, y'all. The room is straight trash. And she basically doesn't really answer. She looking around it like, okay. And then she's like, well, I think it's awesome you taking the girls to the dance. When he get ready, I ain't see him take no shower or nothing, but okay. And they leave to go to his dance, And so when he leaves, they bringing them like little baskets, little bags or whatever have you, starting to move her in there. And, Taylor's pretty much like, now that they're gone, what do you really think about the room? Because she know her damn sister or whatever. And so she tells her, like, there's nails sticking out the wall. There's freaking holes in the ceiling or whatever. But I'm going to deal with it, the best that I can. And I still feel like I'm being pushed out, or kicked out. And she's telling her that she don't want her to feel that way. She shouldn't feel that way. I'm just saying, what other way is there really to feel, okay? And she asked her if she gonna stay in there for the night. She's telling her that she's starting to get tired. And she's like, oh, well, you could come back in the house anytime you want, even if the daughter is gonna be in the other room, you still could go in there or lay on the couch in the house. She's like, okay, yeah. And she's basically saying that she's gonna sleep on the couch in the meantime, until she could get her bed in there or whatever. And Taylor basically just passes her a blanket. And like I said, I was kind of disappointed because I wanted her to tell him, this is trash. I ain't moving in here like this, okay? And, you claimed you was going to fix it and you was going to make it look this great way. When it get that way, then call me back, all right? But, like I said, right now, she seems like she's trying to go with the flow. In the meantime, we see that, Mr. Dante is on his way, I guess, driving to Lindsay. And we see her friend basically having a really emotional moment with her in the car, looking like he ready to cry. He's saying that you got to remember you come first and your child as well. Once you have children, it's about the children. I can agree with him there, right? He's like, think about if the situation would have went differently, because remember the last time we saw her, she was ready to fly the heck out of here, okay? Don't go to her interview or do anything else she was supposed to be doing to get her friend out of prison. And because she got a call from another one of the friends, and he was able to go. That saved her from having to deal with the situation. And she was like, thank God for him. He's always there for her. So you have, the friend that picked her up telling her, like, I have a child too, and I know how much my kids mean to me and how badly I want to be there for them and do the right thing for them. And when he's saying that, like I said, he's literally on the verge of tears. She ends up pulling him, over and giving him a hug and stuff. And he was like, you got to draw the line at one point. You can't keep chasing the game and stuff like that. I mean, everything he was saying to her was true, right? And then he also says, if Devontae was in this seat right now, how do you think he would have handled this? Or how do you think he would have reacted? And she was like, well, I don't know. He probably would have been scared as hell. And so he basically was saying that, you got to be a strong person to mess with Lindsay, okay? You can't just, be anybody, because a lot of stuff comes with her. And he's saying that, it will make or break him. I could agree with that. I don't think he's wrong in saying that, even though I think he have his own feelings for Lindsay. He's like, I've been hearing you talking about Deontay a whole lot, and I want you to be happy when it's all said and done or whatever, but this is a whole different ball game, and I don't know, what this situation is going to be. I haven't met him yet, right? But, you being happy is all that matters. She also gets to see her daughter for the first time, and we see them playing basketball. The daughter is so freaking tall now, y'all. Oh my goodness, she grew up so much. And she's beautiful, okay? And they having a little conversation. She asking her how, her mama's doing, and she's saying, grandma's trying hard as she can, all right? It's harder on her. And she said, yeah, she gets that it's harder on her, and she tells her daughter she knows it's hard on her too. She's saying here talking about how she tried to provide for her the best she could. I don't know about all that, Lindsay, but okay. And that, her daughter basically tells her that she's scared she's going to mess up again. And, she shows her a picture of Devontae, and she basically is saying she hopes that she's careful with that. She don't need to be jumping out here and getting into somebody else after the whole situation that happens with Scott. And, of course, as usual, the kids is smarter than the damn parents, okay? Then her mom comes up to pick up her daughter, and she asks the mom to speak to her for a minute and basically apologizes to her mom and tells her, that she's staying with Blaine. He's 2 years clean. He's been doing good. She's like, okay, that's good. And she proceeds to tell her about Devontae. So the mother's basically like, well, I just hope you do what you're supposed to do for you. You take care of you. I hope he's not a con. And I hope you don't disappoint this child. And I hear where mama coming from, but I'm like, no, girl, trust me. Devontae may be many things, okay? But a con is not one of them. You can watch out for your daughter when it comes to that. So now we move along to Dan, Brittany, and Marcelino. Brittany over here venting on the phone. It's 7 hours later. Marcelino still haven't came back. When she hangs up, he comes back in the house not too long after that. And he got the nerve to come in. And when she asking him where he was, out, like he got the freaking attitude. And then, she's saying that they hardly been having sex or whatever. He's saying, oh, you hard to talk to sometimes. And she basically asked to see his phone. I don't really know what the point of that was supposed to be. And he was asking her what she looking for. And I guess she's seeing like porn sites, nude pictures, whatever have you. And she's like, it's not even a big deal that, he's looking at that, or she don't care that he's looking at that. But the fact that he's looking at those type of things and then not paying her any mind, not touching her, not looking at her is what makes her feel funny. And she basically was like, you rather look at that than touch me. And she's telling him that he's making her feel ashamed, unloved, ugly. She's like, at least have the decency to keep it real with me, to tell me the truth. If you don't want no parts of me, say that. I've tried. I've been giving you the best, what I'm saying? But if my best is not good enough for you, that is fine, but just tell me that, let me have some freaking dignity. Save me just a little bit of damn pride, because it really hurts. And this whole time, he looked like he could care less, and he looked like he don't even feel like being bothered, and she looked like it's hard for her to make the tears come out her damn eyes, y'all, okay, if we are being really honest. But she's saying, tell her the truth. And she's like, he's been trying to manipulate the situation, make her seem insecure, make her seem crazy, make her seem like she's not a good person. Obviously, he's having some other problems and issues, I'm saying, that is with him, but he's making it seem like it's about her. And, basically she was telling him he could go ahead and leave if he wanted to, and he was saying he wasn't going nowhere. So she essentially said that, she doesn't see them working or being able to get through this if, they don't go to therapy. Okay, so we get to the therapist, they go to therapy, and Brittany is basically telling the therapist that they have been through a rough patch. He's asking for background. How's their work life? How's their home life? How long they've been working? How, many kids they have, different stuff like that. He's finding out that Marcelino is a stay-at-home dad, and he's like, that's really hard. So then Marcelino vents out, like, yeah, it is really hard, and it's a full-time job, and I've never really had to do that. That's a big change for me. For over 20 years, I was this way, that way, and the other way. The doctor also says that being married and, having kids can change dynamics and have an effect of all that type of stuff too. Brittany basically was saying that she feels like he's bored with her and that something has shifted, and he was asking her, why she feels bored. And so Marcelino don't say this to the doctor, but he turns and says to us, okay, to the camera in the confession, oh, I'm not talking to this doctor. He don't know me. He don't know my wife. He don't know what we've been through. He don't know what I feel. He's like, I know what the problem is already. When we had that threesome or whatever, you could tell when a woman is into you and when her heart is into you. And basically his heart broke because he could see that Brittany wasn't into him. And I'm saying, number one, then why are you here at the therapist? Because it makes no sense to go to therapy if you're not going to be completely honest and tell them everything. You're right, they don't know you, but they're trying to get to the dynamic of y'all and what y'all problem is to help y'all with that. You're telling the whole damn world anyway, so I don't see the difference in telling the doctor, by you turning and telling us in the confession. And when it all boils down to it, that doesn't shock me, because when we look at the dynamic of them, Marcelino never seemed to be into that chick, and that chick never seemed to be into Marcelino. So it was weird that she was talking about a threesome and all of a sudden he was down with it any daggone way. She was always into Brittany a lot, and Brittany seemed to be into her. So that makes a lot more sense that that's what the issue is, rather than it being something where now Marcelino's like all into her and cheating with her on the side or something like that. But nonetheless, Brittany, that's your fault too, because you really thought by bringing in somebody else again, okay, these people that want to bring somebody else into the relationship, you really thought that was going to make the difference. And so we have Brittany breaking down in the therapy session, crying all hard, pouring her heart out to the doctor, saying everything that she was just saying to Marcelino at the house, but now saying it in front of the doctor, how she feels lost, she feels depressed, she feels this way, she feels that way. And Marcelino was not showing not one bit of freaking compassion, y'all. He looked like he could give two shits, all right? Until they got to like the very end of her crying, he put his hand on her damn knee, and the doctor ended up saying, can you get those tissues over there and give them to her? So I don't know. I don't know if this is just some made up story for the show. I don't know if they really going through this for real. I have no clue. But I know that he is looking like he could care less. And he basically, feels that Brittany basically don't even really want him or whatever. She wants, homegirl that she brung into it. And so I don't know whether they get past that one or not. Okay, moving on and on, we got another raggedy ass person, Sean. Okay, Sean and Sarah's basically talking about this wedding. He is now saying how important it is for his kids to be there. Okay, she's going on and on and on about how she wants to spend more time with his family. Now, I find this really weird, Sarah, because you had all these months to want to spend time with Sean's family. And to be honest, we don't see you spend time with your family like that either. The only one we see from your family is your mama. But now that you all of a sudden having this wedding, you all of a sudden want to know his family. And he's saying that he does feel the way with his kids not being there for the wedding. And the only way he could see, that actually happening is if he let Kelly come too. Why he want to say that? Because she basically has an attitude goes off was like, what about if my ex was to come? You know, what are we going to invite Destiny now too? He's like, of course not. And, you know, basically kind of saying like that's apples and oranges and he wouldn't do that or whatever. And he's like, it's something that he got to deal with and something that she got to deal with too. She's saying how she doesn't want any surprises at her wedding, doesn't want anything interrupting it. I get that. That makes sense. I can understand where she's coming from. But at the same time, you know what? You had all this time to meet Kelly. You had all this time to meet the kids and you didn't. So if this is a way for y'all to meet with them coming here to the wedding, I don't mind, because to tell y'all the truth, this story is boring as hell and needs something to spruce it up, to add to it, to make us care about it and want to watch it. And maybe Kelly coming would be the thing that would, you know, make that happen. It's funny because, you know, Sarah's so busy thinking that, you know, why would she want to be there? All she going to do is make herself feel hurt by seeing us being together, knowing that you basically marrying me and you didn't marry her. To be honest with y'all, I feel like Sarah's past that. I don't think that it would even be a thing of her being jealous or feeling like, you know, she needs to come and weep about you getting him, okay? I think she's past that already. If anything, she may want to warn you about some things, but I wouldn't even waste my time doing that, okay? But if, you know, and we also know that she likes to get on Sean and tell him about himself and how raggedy he is and how much, you know, he's failed his kids and not been there for his kids. So if she do have anything to say, I think it would be more about that than it would be about, you know, Sarah or making her feel away or the fact that they getting married. But we're going to talk more about that in a minute. And so, you know, he's telling her, don't worry about it. Nothing is going to mess it up. He's telling her Destiny is not going to come. She ain't got to be concerned with that or nothing like that, right? And so then she goes out. I believe that was with his sister to have like a girls' day out, mani-pedi, all of that. Got the little crown on her head. And they talking about Destiny and Kelly as well. You know, Sarah's telling her, well, as far as Destiny goes, she more so feel like, I'm sorry, as far as Kelly goes, she more so feels like, you know, he didn't marry her, but he had all these kids with her. So it gotta be something there where he really wants her, because he did ask her to marry him, right? That is kind of like a 50-50 feeling where she feels like she's all in with him and she really cares him, but sometimes she second guesses how much he's into her. You know, where Destiny is concerned, that's pretty much was around the same time as her, you know, during her, before her, whatever. And he did ask her to marry him too. So that makes a little bit of a different dynamic. And they seem like they bonding. You know, she seemed like she really trying to give her a chance and be fair and all of that and hear her out. So, you know, I guess that was cute. So then when Kelly finally does get to speak to Sean, first of all, she didn't know about the baby either. This is a surprise to her as well. You know, he over here rubbing his belly and talking about there's another one. And she's like, oh my God, you having another child? She's like, that's the last daggone thing you need. You know, how far along is she? She tells him she's 6 months. So she's like, man, you need to get snipped. I said, I know that's right, Kelly. And she says she feels sorry for her later. So that just further proves my point. Like, if anything, she's like, you seem to love when they little babies, okay? You like being around them when they little babies, but as they growing and they getting bigger, that's when your behind want to run off, okay? Or that's when you want to have the next baby, because he likes them when they real tiny. But it's a different story when they getting older. So that's something a little different we hearing about Sean now too, right? And so she's like, she's gonna learn the hard way. I'm like, oh boy. You know, then she says, well, I'll consider it if you send me some money. Okay, can you send me $500 now? I said, I don't blame you, Kelly. Get everything you could get out of him. You know, she says she ain't paying for it. Okay, so I'll think about coming if you dishing it out, but I damn sure ain't going to be the one, you know what I'm saying, to spend my money. And he basically was like, you know, let him see what he could do. Yeah. So now he about to spend money to bring them out there. And you know, Sarah going to be even more pissed about that. So then we get to Bronwyn. Bronwyn and Chaz need to be off this show. Period. They need to be off this show. She could not care less about that man. She don't want him. But she's constantly feeling like, oh, well, you know, if I make this change, if I go be with him, if I move there, then I won't get arrested again. I won't get back into the same, you know, pattern. We have to change people, places, and things. We basically pick up with them where she's just finished watching his show where he's performing, and she's saying to the ex-boyfriend, oh, wasn't he good? Isn't he great up there? Isn't he like a little, you know, rock star? And the boyfriend is just dying, laughing, cracking up on the daggone couch. And she's like, you know, what's so funny? And she's like, oh, he says, oh, did you tell him you was here? No, I didn't. Well, why didn't you? You know, she's saying she didn't want him to be jealous. And he's saying how it's hard to see her being into somebody else. And she was like, well, it was hard for me, you know, for years seeing you with other women when you was out there with all those different women. You know, he couldn't say nothing. He's basically like, touche, good one. All right. And so, you know, he tells her that he's finally building you know, she tells him, well, no, he was telling her she's finally building a relationship with her daughter, right? And that he don't see her picking up and moving as an answer to that, right? And we do know that that was the reason for her coming out here. When we last seen her, she left with her daughter, and to be honest, that does make more sense. I don't think she really needs to be hanging with the ex-boyfriend. I don't think Chaz is the one for her. I think she should just work on herself and work on being able to build this relationship with her daughter since she missed so many years. And I guess they basically talked the daughter up because the daughter ended up calling right behind, you know, right as they mentioned in her. And she starts asking her about Chaz. Now, the daughter does think it's a good idea for her to move. The daughter isn't all of that, you know, into Chaz, but she doesn't feel like it's anything for her, you know, offering to her, like anything to offer her, you know, with staying here. And she says with Chaz, he's just a little weird. Okay. He's a little weird. He's a little different. And so then her and Chaz are supposed to be having like this virtual date, you know, and they're talking about the fact that he's going to be getting ready to come out there to visit. Now on his end, he all dressed up. He got a suit. He got roses. He got balloons. He got champagne. He got the works. He's looking super excited and happy. On her end, she looking dead as a doornail, and she's still saying in the confessional that she sees him as a stranger. So it's just like, what's the point? She's still not looking forward to having sex with him. She's still not excited about seeing him. You know, when he asked her about her ex, she flat out lies about it. And he's like, oh, good. You know, I just wanted to see where your head was at with that and whether he was still coming around and trying to bother you and get with you or anything like that. And whether or not, you know, that's still going to be an issue. And it's like, child, y'all might as well hang it up. Okay, y'all are not meant to be together. It is so freaking obvious, you know. Poor thing, he's so much in a daggone bubble, he don't even see what the heck is happening. But she at least, you know, has some type of knowledge of what's happening, and she is just setting him up to be heartbroken, okay? So then we get to some other people that, in my opinion, have no freaking business being up here. We get to freaking Amber and Poppy, okay? Now, Poppy is coming in here with Eric, right? She's still with his raggedy behind. And Amber's over here officiating a damn wedding, honey. I didn't even know this was a wedding. I didn't know it was the real wedding. I thought maybe this was some type of freaking, you know, rehearsal or something like that, child. But this was a real wedding. No judgment, because, you know, not everybody do things the same way. But it was a bit, you know, not what I was expecting. And so she talks about her parents being together like when she was 17 and 19 years old. You know, they separated, they got back together. They had her, you know, and they had divorced when she was 1 and all this other kind of stuff. So now they reconnected, and, you know, it's 34 years later and she can't be happier. And so Poppy knows the mom too because of the fact that, you know, they were all in jail together. I actually forgot about that part for a minute. And, you know, after the wedding is officiated and her mother comes over, she's hugging her. She's happy to see her. And mama starts spilling the tea. You know how that go. Your mama go and talk, okay? And she's just basically telling everybody how they was all locked up together and how them two had, you know, whatever their relations was, okay, they was getting it in. And she's like, but I wasn't into what they was into. And she's steadily, you know, spilling the tea. So that was kind of funny. And Eric was just looking so awkward and so like, why am I here, the whole time that they was talking, right? And they saying how she's such a big part of the life, you know. Even Puppy says, you know, yeah, she's like a mom to me too. So it's understandable why she would be there. at the wedding, and she was going on and on and on about this, prison relationship that they had, and they was all just smiling and looking damn awkward. And so we find out that when Poppy got arrested, because remember she had warrants and all this other stuff, at one point Eric was even talking about her, saying that she needed to run in order for them to be able to get together, for them to be able to get married and all this stuff. We're finding out that Poppy is saying she jealous. She want the kind of relationship that they got. We did see Eric give her this ring or whatever the case may be. But then the whole warrant thing, of course, came into the situation. And, we seen where Amber was trying to get her to turn herself in. Then she changed her mind. Then she did go to jail. And Eric basically went to damn Vegas while she was in jail. So I'm like, okay. And then, she says she was in there for 1 week, and when she got out, he flew back. So I'm like, yeah, that's not a good, So we have Miss Queen. We know Queen keep it real. Queen was the one that was keeping it real, with Amber back in the last season. And we also find out when Queen is asking her, like, so what's going on? When you gonna be, getting married? What's happening here? Asking her how she doing. Is she happy? Is everything going good? She talking about, well, yeah, one day I would like us to get married. She's like actually saying yes, no, maybe so. And she says, well, for one, he would have to get divorced first before he could get married. So we find out he married. I said, well, how the hell he was going on hard before and buying you a ring when he's already married, girl? And so then we got Amber being Mrs. Messy Pants talking about some, well, I'm going to keep it real with you. When I went to see you, I was the one that went to see you. I came to see you while you was in jail or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Not him. And she was saying, well, he is legally separated, right? And she's like, yeah, he is. He lives with me, of course. He's not with her if he's there with me. So they were saying all men lie about that. And, Queen was like, listen, they never do. They be saying they gonna leave. And she was like, even Amber says she been waiting for a divorce like a year, that it don't happen overnight or whatever. And so now Poppy talking about what if it's all a lie. To be honest, I feel like they just another ones making up a damn storyline, just like Marcelino and Brittany, okay? Because I really don't care. But, nonetheless, we here. And so she says she's trying, and, Amber says she don't know if it's real or not. She knows that Poppy loves him, but she don't know about him loving Poppy. And so then, Miss Queen gets to sit down with him for a minute, and she's telling him, like, you better treat her right. You better do right by her. She's like, I've been locked up before, so I know how it is. I know how it goes down, and I ain't got a problem with, basically going back, because he just was looking at her like she had two heads. He wasn't really, answering so much. You could see that it was making him feel awkward and uncomfortable. So now he has an attitude. He wants to leave. She's saying she not ready to leave. She's like, well, what about me? He's like, I don't know. Figure it out. Okay. And he basically tells, the camera people that she's easily influenced, and, she'll listen to anybody and let them get in her head. And he says he's leaving, and, basically he goes speeding the hell off. Okay, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Putting the, putting it to the metal, as they say. And he was gone, and she's sitting there, and then Amber comes over and keeps asking her, like, you all right, you all right, you all right? And she keeps saying, yeah, but eventually she just breaks down and starts crying, crazy daggone hard, right? So that was pretty much what happened, y'all. Like I said, in my opinion, this was not a big episode. Maybe next week's is going to be a little bit bigger. I think we still got some couples that haven't even been shown yet. They got a lot of people up here. So it's going to be interesting to see, what else they got coming. And it's also going to be interesting to see when this wedding finally goes down, because I got some feeling Miss Destiny is going to be up in the building. All right. We see in the preview that she's like, I should just go to that wedding. Right. So this whole time that Sarah is worried about Kelly, I don't think she's the one that she got to worry about, y'all. I think she got some other things to worry about, but we shall see. All right. Y'all put it in the comments. Tell me what y'all are thinking about this so far. What is the couple that you like or don't like? You know who you looking forward to or not looking forward to. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Till next time, toodaloo.